Welcome to the sixth Berlin Circus Festival in 2020. Just 3 words about your feeling.
Our feeling?
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed. I am overwhelmed. 3 words.
I'm amazed.
It was 2?
I am. This is 2.
Like introduce yourself like in one sentence maybe.
My name is Matthias. I'm a clown.
My name is Pete. I'm a clown's outside eye.
So what is circus for you?
Circus? Circus is what I do. And all the others that do circus, I think that's the place where you can do many different things, and it's okay. So, no?
Do you want to talk about Corona today?
No.
So what are your plans for the next 48 hours?
Well, actually, why talk about Corona? Yeah, I mean,
You want?
yeah.
No. Actually, I mean, you're here for like 48 hours now,
Yeah.
and presenting something or nothing. So you're free.
Well, I guess we are going to be presenting something on Saturday night. The rest of the time we're going to be working on it. And this is actually Corona related, I think. So we're talking about Corona right now. What I want to work on is the feeling of performing for nobody. Yeah, my question was like, in later times when Corona and all that stuff is over, how to deal with this topic, art-wise, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to be on stage and tell about a time where there was no stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why for me an empty circus tent was a gift to find out about that. I want to perform for nobody tomorrow and the day after.
And this is interesting because it's the clown's worst nightmare to perform for nobody. The clown lives with the audience.
Yeah.
And now every performer in the world, clown or not clown, wakes up to the same situation of an empty circus tent. We don't have an audience.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful chance to see what this clown will do in that situation.
So let's get, I think we have some time now, just a bit deeper in, like, I mean, you applied, it was really short time for for the application, and now you have this 48 hours, like, how was it for you? Do you spend all night, like, thinking, oh God, what I'm doing, or does it come out from you? Do you think, oh, I just take my time, or it doesn't matter, or, like,
To be honest, when I got the yes to do this, I got really scared. I said like, oh shit, why did I apply? Because it's like, you see, I have a team of, I guess, more than 15 people, and I have a circus tent for myself, and I even get money to do this, and I feel like I need to deliver something, no?
yeah.
So, but for me, it's a great chance. What was
But
the
it's like
question?
delivering art. Is it like one big part of doing art for you? Like, it's interesting because you say you want to deliver, and I wonder if this is a general feeling or if it's just a feeling about the situation now. Like, because you know you have this 48 hours, whatever.
In all my life, I've never worked with funding, so it's all money I earned was through performance.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I get to be paid for the other part of my job, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been paid for rehearsals, but in the end, there was always a performance. Yeah. And here, there might be a performance, but it's not what it's about. Yeah, we want to research on that certain feeling of finding out that there's nobody. Yeah.
We just like we thought about some questions can ask you, and there was like circus and clowns. Like it's especially contemporary circus and clowns. It's still like an interesting topic because clowns usually are like whatever usually means, but it's really traditional circus style, or it still have like, I don't know, this feeling of really traditional. How is it for you? Like, how do you see yourself in being contemporary or traditional circus as a clown?
No, this is like when there's a lot of times that it happens that we say, what's contemporary circus? It's like circus, but without animals and without clowns. And then sometimes they say like, oh yeah, there can be clowns in contemporary circus, but without red nose and without big shoes. So I'm gonna be working with big shoes for the next 2 days. That's my thing in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a bit a narrow side on the whole thing to say like clowns and circus, and if you wanna do something new based on something, if you wanna call something circus, you need to have a link to a certain kind of tradition, right?
Yeah.
And it's always a choice of what to keep and what to do differently, right?
Yeah.
And there's certain waves of like certain fashions of this we keep, this we do differently, right? I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's just me. I'm going for, if somebody says contemporary circus is contemporary clown is without the big shoes and without the red nose, I know what I'm gonna wear next, right? So and if they say it's without clowns and without animals, my next act is gonna be an animal act. I don't know. I don't.
I love, like, we loved your application, especially about the shoes.
Yeah.
And about the juggling. Maybe I just, it's more a personal question. I wonder, how is it like getting older as to be a clown? I mean, you both are clowns. You're just not in your 20s anymore. I'm sorry, but how is this feeling? Is this like a lifetime thing, or do you sometimes think I'm not a clown anymore? Just because we have to explain also to the audience or to me, like, because I never was a clown. So is that like an idea you ever have? Like, is this, you understand what I mean, or is it like a weird question? Maybe it's a weird question.
There's a saying, a good clown is an old clown. Have you heard this before?
No, never.
Yeah.
It's
So old saying
But
from
especially
the
in being a
circus.
clown, it's like being into this role for all the time.
Being into the what?
In this role for all the time, or not? Like being an artist is like perform, or looking for some new situations, or rehearse. But for me, always was being a clown is like really like you have this role and you develop it all the time. It's, for me, it's a little different to just creating new pieces, not just, but creating new pieces, whatever. But like you just fill up your own role all the time. You know what I mean?
I guess so. There's been clowns who have played the one role for their whole life, right?
Is it like that? I don't know. I'm not.
Some-
I don't know.
You have
so much about
different roles.
I've played many roles.
Me in clown,
Yeah.
like it's been, I don't know how. I used to be a juggler, you know?
Yeah.
And then in one point I was bored of always having to succeed.
Yeah.
I think, and then it was a kind of how do you say in English?
Devolution.
Devolution. I just in some point I realized when somebody asked me, "So what's your job?" I started saying I'm a clown instead of I'm a juggler,
Yeah.
because this is more what I identify with.
Yeah.
For me, the important thing about the clown is that by failing, I think I'm closer to the people.
Yeah.
Because most of the people in life, they feel like they're failing all the time. Nobody really thinks they have success all the time,
Yeah.
right? Or maybe there's people, but this special kind of people who think they have success all the
Yeah.
time. Most people carry a lot of feeling of failure with them all the time. So by failing on stage, you can get really close to people. They might not admire you, but they might, I don't know,
Relate to you.
might relate. Yeah. Most of the circus disciplines is like, oh,
Yeah.
and clown is the complete opposite. Yeah.
It's super interesting because I just try, like I can express myself in English is not so good like in German, but there was some guy like he's really good at talking and he knows a lot about art, and for him like circus was always about success in the trick and doing things like really special. And you say now it's a lot about failure, like circus and being a clown. So actually being a clown is really different to being like an artist who's on the trapeze, because, or like being on the pole, because all what he's doing is about to making the trick right, because if not, he's just he will fail and then he, I don't know, break his neck or whatever.
Yeah, in the end, the clown has to fail right. So it's in the end, it's not a big difference. the way how you succeed, yeah, just the way what you deliver is what you deliver. I think it's different.
Yeah, and there's a call for this failure after the success of the acrobats in the circus.
Yeah.
So this is also why even in contemporary circus, even if you take the clown out, the clown comes back in somewhere, because the audience goes seeing this acrobatic acts, and then there's a need in the space and in the audience to to let the breath out,
To relieve, huh?
to release. So the skill of the acrobats calls for the failure of the clowns.
I'm super curious to see what's gonna happen in the next 48 hours.
Yeah, me too.
I hope my question don't embarrass you.
But I haven't answered to the age question, right?
to the, yeah,
You
yeah,
said
maybe.
like you are old. you said I'm old.
I'm getting old. We're all getting old.
I've when I started to playing this character that I'm usually playing, the Schwarzclown,
Yeah.
I started painting the creases, right? Is it the right word in English?
Yeah, the wrinkles.
Wrinkles, the wrinkles. I'm painting the wrinkles that I find to highlight them.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the day when I don't have to do makeup anymore.
But you do still or not?
I do less and less.
I think I would open up to here. Is there any questions?
Luise?
I just want to ask if you have your role, so you put your costume on if you go on stage, or do you think you use the 48 hours to go on stage without the costume, or you're looking like with your role, you might go without the role on stage? What is the clown side with the role?
So in the next 48 hours, you
Yeah.
want to know if I will be in
No,
costume
no.
and makeup all the time, or?
No. Is it a feeling that because without the audience, you don't have to use the makeup, not the makeup, so including with the role.
I don't think I'm gonna spend the next 2 days all in costume and makeup, but for sure, in some point, I will. Yeah, because it makes a difference.
Yeah.
I think especially if I want to find out how it is to perform for nobody, I have to go through the whole process of what I'm usually doing before I perform to get on the same level of energy. And this means I have to put my makeup for an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your goal, or do you have a goal for the show? Like, you want to do a show for no audience in the future, or you want to do it as an improviser?
That's a good question. I think it becomes interesting. The idea of performing for nobody becomes interesting when it's possible to perform for somebody again, right? I'm looking for some kind of new connection to the audience, which is that it's not that I want to play with the fourth wall, which would be passively ignoring the audience. I want to actively tell them that they are not there, yeah, which makes a difference. I want to go out and do a trick and wait for response, and there will be response, but it will not reach me, yeah, and they will see me. They will see me performing in front of nobody because I know that they are there. This is the goal for the future. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I thought as an empty circus tent in these times is the best place to find out if there's anything interesting about it.
And it's working with clowns as director. Very often, the actor wants to go away from the moment of failure, but the gold, the most beautiful poetry, comes out in the moment when the performer actually fails. So in this situation, the chances of failure are very high. So because there's no audience to react, so we see what comes out from the clown in this situation. See how he reacts. This is the moment that we all want to avoid, but that actually brings the thing that's most interesting.
Yeah.
Is there in some way, like this Corona time and right now, being an artist is quite painful already, and then you're being clowns, looking for failure all the time. And I remember lots of clowns training in school, and they were the hardest lessons ever. It's so freaking hard to always look for this moment, to always be so naked and so vulnerable on stage. And now you're saying it's something new and it's a bit scary. So how are you going to cope with that?
Here? I think we're just gonna get drunk in the sauna.
We cut that out.
If he cries too much backstage, then I'll have you come and laugh at him.
I don't know. For me, it's a chance to. I think, I want to do something on Saturday that goes live and that maybe some people are gonna watch. But actually, in this very moment, I can train once a week in the moment because I have kids to take care of and my wife is working because we need the money. And but for me, this once a week training without any shows coming up is such a relief in the moment. It feels like a hobby, right? It feels like 25 years ago when this was a hobby and it was all just for fun. And it's so free. And it's also, I hope that the next 2 days are going to be a bit like this. That we don't expect too much of an outcome for the future or something. That we just play for the moment. And for, of course, I'm having an easier time if I have a goal to reach, but nothing that has to last, right?
And if you allow me just to turn the question around, maybe to the actual question, did it help you in these kind of difficult times that you have experienced as a clown to fail so much and then arrive in this situation in life where we all have to face so much difficulty?
You first.
Me first, okay. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's both the training of being a clown and embracing the moment of the fall and of the exposing your heart even when you want to hide it is good training. And also the job of being an artist is like always adapting and shifting and doing the next thing. And so, of course, all the gigs are gone, and myself and most people I know, we're still busy all the time. We're make a different kind of project or work on this part of the job, and so there's I'm not used to stability, so this is just turns up the heat on what's already a fairly chaotic existence. Doesn't make it easy, but if I had a regular job and I was just fired and sent home and I had nothing to do, it'd be very different.
Yeah.
This.
Is there any more questions?
Thank you
for tonight. No, Matthias. Sorry for that.
I don't know. I think it's pretty tough not to perform. Yeah. For me, it's a big part of it. I'm addicted to audience and to performing, and like usually it was like when I didn't have shows for 3-4 weeks, it kind of started to get tough. And now I've had in the first part of all this, I've had half a year of not performing, and then I've had a period of performing, and now I'm in the 3rd month or something not performing, and it will go on at least until March not performing, and this is just terrible. It's I don't know. It's existential. I think the one part is like, oh, how am I gonna feed my family and stuff? But the other part is like there's a certain need that I have to be in front of an audience, and this is just. I think it's terrible, and it doesn't really help to be a clown. I don't know.
Or a festival maker.
I have found out that I really need this response.
Yeah. I totally understand that. I mean, like we had all this trouble all year long. Like I'm so super glad to have you here. Like we are all super glad to have you here. Like it's also an opportunity and a chance, and so I hope we can focus on this next 48 hours also, probably without Corona, and like finding a way in between, because like all these people here, I think we all have so many good ideas, and yeah, let's see how it goes and how it will end, or I don't know. Is there any questions still?
I have something I want to say.
Yeah, or you can also ask questions if you want. It's total open.
It's in response to your first question about how we feel about this, when we both said we're amazed to be here and amazed that you are here. And my very first clown teacher, Avner Eisenberg, Avner the Eccentric, he said that the clown is the one where if the whole theater burns to the ground, he will say, okay, well, I make a marshmallow, and make a marshmallow on the burning theater. And the fact that you put this tent up on this field in December, hoping that nobody will come, for me is like a supreme act of clown poetry. Yeah. And so for us to walk into this tent like this it's unreal. It's a crazy dream.
I have a very similar feeling about all this. Yeah. I saw you promoting the festival, like first of all when you said we're going winter, and I thought I'm pessimistic, right? And I thought like winter. I mean, there will be a second wave in winter. Why you go winter? It's like, and then you started promoting all the December thing, and then there was the lockdown for November announced. And then in some point I thought, I hope they are gonna announce the lockdown for December before you start putting up your tent. And then the lockdown for December was announced, and then you started putting up your tent. in some point when you put up the posters, I'm living right on the other side of the field, and I saw the poster, and I had this this Elvis song in my mind, but with a different text. I just thought they're so optimistic I could cry, right? And when you just said we're gonna put up the festival site anyway, I thought like that's a piece of art, and I'm happy to be part of it.
That was nice. Thank you.